Hello. Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Katie, how's it going?
Hi. I'm so glad that this worked seamlessly because I did, and I was so nervous. So nervous. I don't do lives very often, so
Yeah.
it's just like let this work very, very seamlessly. It's just I've seen so many horror stories. I don't know if you've seen like the Teddy Riley and the Babyface fiasco that
Uh-uh.
happened. Oh God, it was horrible. Yeah, they had trouble like getting on and logging in, so wanted to make sure that we were able to get on.
Yeah,
So
and
thank
we've got some people that are on already. Someone's saying, "Hey, Katie, we've got Deo Women." Is that how you
yes.
pronounce
Hi
it?
Yolanda, how are you?
And yeah, from my perspective, it was super easy. Just to give, like, if you want to help other people out, all I did is I went to the Media Frenzy Global page and I just kind of waited for it to say live,
Yeah,
and I
okay.
clicked on it. It was easy.
Good, 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 good. I'm so glad that this is like seamless. So I wanted to go ahead and just kind of get started. Hey Nakia, she just joined. She's from our team.
Love that. I love that. She
I'm
gives
so
like
glad that
the four handshakes right there, the four hand
yes.
waves.
Yeah, she's actually kind of my she's my true sidekick at work. I love her. She's amazing. She keeps me grounded and sane. So thanks Nakia for joining. I really appreciate it. And then we have I'm not sure who this is because their handle is different.
Uh-huh.
There's DJ B Warren that just joined us. Sarah
Yeah, that's
just
Byron
joined.
from our team.
Oh, hi. Hi Sarah. Hi Pamela.
We got a I love you too, Katie.
Yes.
You're definitely the star of the show. You're getting people waving at you.
Well,
We've
I'm
got
I'm not the star of the show. I'm only the host. So
okay,
you're
got it.
definitely going to be the star of the show once you start dropping these gems that you're going to be giving us today. But just so that everyone is joining, I want to just kind of introduce myself. I'm Katie Kern, an agency partner at Media Frenzy Global. And one of the things that we were thinking about with everything that's going on is how's everyone coping? How are we coping with what's happening with this pandemic that's forever changing our lives right now? And then in the workplace, hey, my sister's on here. Hi, honey. I love you.
Yeah.
Um, but everything that's going on, it's just, so important that we're a part of the conversation and not a part of a lot of noise that's happening right now, but really a part of the conversation, helping people cope with what's going on. So when I was thinking about who I would want to be a part of the series, I was like, I had a top 10. And then, of course, you were on my top 10.
Yes, we made it.
Yes, a part of
Top
my
10.
top 10 after like Barack Obama, Beyonce, all these other great people that I want to be on this segment. So
John
yes,
Krasinski and
yes. So everything that you do with Elevate Experiences, I know that you and Billy came to present to us actually a few years ago.
yeah.
And that presentation, you guys really left an impression on Media Frenzy. And I just thought that what you do is so unique and you guys are so brilliant that I wanted you to come on and really talk about really the topic of discussion, which is how do you protect your company culture during a pandemic, with everything that's going on. So I'll let you introduce yourself, Shawn.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thanks so much, Katie. It's been fun following Global Media Frenzy Global for a while now, and you guys are
Yeah,
just doing amazing work. And I love like this series, even what you've named it, coping with COVID. Like
yeah,
that's what everybody's been dealing with for the last 5 weeks. So we're super humbled to be a part. So Sean Specie from Elevate Experiences. My wife and I have been married for about 5 years now. We have an almost 3-year-old little girl who is just all over the place and amazing.
oh, so
And
cute.
yeah, and so been with Elevate for full time for 4 years now. And what we do
Yeah,
is we help brands tell their story through live experiences, either in person or virtual, for
yeah,
their teams and for their clients. And really, what happened is we've been known to be kind of like an MC on the microphone for a lot of different types of events for the last oh gosh, 10 years now.
Yeah.
And what we started to do is we started to ask the question, why are people hiring us to do their field day or their internal conference or to do this
Yeah.
marketing thing? And it was always for two reasons. It was always because they wanted to tell a story,
Yeah.
and because they wanted to foster and develop a culture within their organization and with their clients and with their people. And that's really the reason why. And it's kind of like mental health right now, like coping with COVID. Like
Yeah.
mental health is such a huge conversation as we're all quarantined. We're thrown off of what used to be the
Absolutely.
normal, right?
Yeah.
And our organizations are no different. And so the way that I always talk about company culture with people, and specifically coping with COVID and protecting company cultures, it's a lot
Yeah.
like mental health,
Yeah.
but on the organizational side, right?
Yeah. So
You
one of
know,
the things that I thought was interesting on your LinkedIn profile, you actually, there was a quote that I thought was pretty brilliant. You said,
okay,
customers will never love a company until employees love it first. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, that is so powerful. And that
hmm
really stems down to a great company culture. I know that at Media Frenzy right now, how we're coping with COVID is that we've been doing some really great things like a lunch lockdown. So Sarah has been so generous to provide us with $25 Uber Eats gift cards so that
that's
when we're
awesome.
joining these sessions, we have a nice meal to enjoy while we're having conversations kind of about what's going on.
Hmm.
And then we're also doing these coffee clatches. I don't know what clatch means. I need to ask Sarah about that. She's like, coffee clatch is a British, it's a British thing, I'm sure. It's definitely a British thing. So we're actually having 30-minute coffee talks on Friday where the team comes together. And this Friday, we actually have one. She's actually going to teach us how to speak British. So that's going to be very interesting. So our
Yes,
company culture is really trying to get our team to kind of explore their passions and share it with one another. So
that's
that's how
amazing.
we're coping. So I want to jump into the Q&A,
Yeah.
but I wanted to talk about first, like, why is it so important to have like a good company culture?
Hmm.
Why is that so important?
Yeah, that's such a loaded question, but
Yeah,
I think the biggest thing that it comes down to is kind of that quote that you shared from Simon Sinek is the company culture is like if you I don't people don't really talk like this anymore, but do you remember when like there's a phrase, it's like in the spirit of friendship, right?
yeah,
Where
absolutely.
company culture is like in the spirit of your business. It's this almost intangible thing that you can't quite put your finger on it, but it's that feeling that you get when you think about that brand,
Yeah,
and it permeates everything. It starts, of course, with the leadership, and it should be fostered by everybody. um, at,
absolutely.
Ele- at Elevate, we talk about not just being culture contributors whenever we hire someone new,
Yeah,
but being not just consumers, but culture contributors.
yeah,
And so really, like company culture, it starts, of course, it's the feeling that your employees get when they think about your company. And
yeah,
we also define it as traditions, values, habits,
yep,
not just that you talk about, but also that your company allows. And
yeah,
that word allow is really big, because then, of course, like, and there's tons of people that are way more popular and more influential than
yeah.
we are, but they talk about how company culture is going to trickle down from how your employees are treated, is going to trickle into how they treat your clients. And so
Absolutely. I think
it's
that's
been,
so key.
yeah,
That was definitely a very nice gem that you just dropped there, because I think it's so important for people to know that based on how anyone, your employees are feeling, that's going to resonate with how they actually treat your clients as well. So
yeah,
that's pretty significant. So kind of going into what are some of the best ways to communicate and maintain a company culture? I know that you guys do a lot of team building
mm-hmm.
and we're all, and I keep saying quarantine, but my husband was like, we're not quarantined, you can actually get out, get it, got it, understand it,
Uh-huh.
but we are confined to our homes to a certain extent, and it's really difficult to kind of have some sort of camaraderie with your team and really rally everyone together. How do we do that? How do we best do that with our team when we're working remotely?
Yeah, that's great. I think the simplest way to put it is, for a while now, we've been calling it Elevate. Slack is our home office, right?
Yeah.
So I think the first thing that we have to do realistically is find out, like, where is your virtual home office? Is it on Zoom? Is it on Slack? And I think that those two together, some form of like instant messaging and some form of video messaging, you should view that as your home office, right?
Yeah.
And then think about how can you replicate some of the things that you would be doing in a home office, but do it through that virtual means. And so, like, for example, if you were able to like walk down to someone's office and just knock on the door and drop in for a conversation, there's no reason you can't do that on video or on instant messaging and just say, hey, can we just chat for 5 minutes? Or I've got this idea, right? Like, why not? We should be able to do that. And what we've actually done is,
how do you do that with people that we actually have new employees that actually started day one of working remotely? So they haven't been able to really get to know us very well, which is difficult. It's very, very difficult. And just kind of have those relationships. I know that with our team, Sarah's next door to me. So I can literally kind of like peek over into her office because we have glass walls and say like, hey, Sarah, or just have a conversation or even yell out, you know. I have, you know, Nakia, Tawanda, you know, coming into my office, you know, for a nice little chat, as we like to call a kiki, with each other, and just like really have some, you know, some laughs to just kind of break the day up. So it's, for us, it's just, how do you get those new employees to kind of rally them around together and be not afraid to talk and communicate? That's something that we're struggling with right now, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's a great point, because you're not the only company that has had people start day one in this new world. And this is just something like, out of what's happening right now, there's probably going to be some businesses that close their offices and they're like, you know what, we're actually more productive than we are when we're in the office. So we're not going to pay rent anymore. And this is going to be their new norm. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's hard. Like, it's, what you're feeling is very valid. Like, it's difficult to get someone new to buy into the culture right away, and it will take time. And it's going to take being a little bit more intentional. And some of the things that we've seen work really, really well is to first start one-on-one with people. So even schedule virtual hangouts or virtual coffees or virtual lunches with those new people, in order to try to force, you kind of have to force the conversation, right? At the beginning, and get them to warm up and feel welcome. And then I would say give them permission. There's going to be some that you hire that are extreme extroverts, and that you get them on a Zoom call with 20 people, and they're always like leaning forward, trying to jump in the conversation. And then you have some people on the flip side, you might be able to see their video, but they're not really going to talk that much, right?
Yeah.
They might be in chat a little bit. And I think it's okay to give them permission and say, hey, like, I want you to feel comfortable with who you're talking to. So if you feel more comfortable just watching it first, but then know, like, past this week, I'm going to be asking your opinion, and I want you to chime in, because we need and value your opinions. Like, you hired them not just to sit there and watch the video call, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know also, I've been stalking your LinkedIn. So, you know, you guys are doing these virtual workshops.
Yeah.
So, and they're free, by the way. So I think that people should really know what you guys are doing at Elevate with these virtual workshops. I think they're clever. So can you talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, I'd love to. So actually, a couple of things that you mentioned reminded me a lot of one of them. So we created one 1 hour one, which is called How to Lead Your Team Over the Internet. And someone reached out to us, like, pretty much like day 2. We put out a question. We said, hey, like, on Instagram, like, comment, all this kind of thing. Like, what do you need to know in this time frame about company culture? And someone said, how do I inspire my people? How do I get them to connect and still engage, even though we can't see them in person? And so we identified there's 4 things that you need to do in order to lead people over the internet.
Okay, hold on just a second. Everyone, get out your pen and paper. You got 4 things.
There's 4 things.
Because I'm writing this down too. Go ahead.
There's 4 things. So the first thing you got to do is you got to do something personal, right? This is the 5-minute or the 15-minute or the 30-minute coffee, getting to know someone on a Monday on a Zoom call.
Yes.
asking them and say, hey, I'm going to go around. I want everyone to share their 2-minute weekend update.
Okay.
Just keep it personal. Find out, like, how are they doing mentally? How are you doing emotionally, physically, spiritually? It's called like the MEP system. Just find out how are they doing personally, right?
Love that.
So that's number one. Number two is you need to do something fun. Like virtual can be transactional. It's just real. It can be transactional. So you got to keep it lighthearted and you have to do something fun in order to keep people engaged. The third thing is you need to do something intentional, which is a lot like what you guys are doing with, you said Klatch, right? The Klatch coffee.
And Sarah actually gave the definition of what that means. So thank you, Sarah.
I saw that. Where did it go? I'm scrolling. A Klatch is a social gathering, especially over coffee and conversation, right?
Yes.
So that's perfect. Like in those moments, you can do something intentional. Like you can, before you get on that call, you can say, hey, everyone watch this 5-minute TED Talk.
Okay.
Or everyone, like, let's read a chapter of, or a paragraph of this book. So just do something intentional with your team. And then the last one is do the work, right? Like you're there on a work call for an important reason. Thanks. Byron, DJ B-Ren is writing all these in the comments. So thanks for taking notes there digitally for us, Byron. But those are the 4 things: is do something personal, do something fun, do something intentional, and do the work. And do the work, there's all kinds of best practices. A couple of things that we identify is like have one person dedicated to taking notes. Clarify when you're done of who's doing what. So like the action steps that need to be taken out of it. Thanks, Angela. Angela S. Watts put it there in the comments also.
Thanks, Angela. No, that's great. No, those were so great. All of that is actually something that people can actually do immediately. It's not something that you actually have to go and research. It really is something that we can actually take action with today. So that was so helpful, Shawn. I just can't thank you enough for joining us on this, our very first series of Coping with COVID. And before we sign off here, I wanted to see, what is the first thing that you're going to do once we are all safe to go out and about? What is the first thing that you're going to do?
I think the first thing that I'm going to do is take my daughter with my wife to the park and the playground. Like, we're able to go to parks right now, but almost every time we go buy something, like, she can't go down the slide. We can't put her on the swing. And like, she asks about it and she's almost 3 years old and we just can't tell her like what I think. And so that's number one. And then number 2 is we're going to go to downtown Duluth and we're going to go to Good Word Brewing or Truck and Tap and have a drink and some chips and guac with some friends.
Oh no, that is so good. That is so good.
What are you going to do? What are you going to be doing?
I think so. The first thing that I'm going to do probably is get these nails done, because they have literally have been like the worst things in the world. But yes, I'm going to do that. And then probably, I want to go to a rooftop, have some frosé on a rooftop, with some friends, and really have a really good, good time. So that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
I love how specific you were. You're like, I want to have frosé on a rooftop. That's amazing.
Yes. That is my drink of choice in the summertime. So yes, frosé on a rooftop, soaking in the sun and just really being around people and laughing and just enjoying life. So that is my go-to. So before we log off, I want you to provide your contact details. How can people get in contact with you? Elevate, all that good stuff.
For sure. So we've got a couple of resources for people. We talked about the 4 things that you can do over the internet. And point number 3 was do something intentional. And we actually have a DIY culture program that people can go through. And it's called Elevate Your Culture. There's a digital version and a physical version. So you can go to our website. It's elevateexperiences.com. And then we have a store there with digital culture resources that people can access. Our founder and president, Billy, actually wrote this book called Culture Reconstructed, which is perfect for right now, right?
And tell Billy I said hello. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Love him.
Will do.
He's awesome.
I'll actually see if we can get a behind the scenes. We're actually recording for a conference coming up, so I want to show you something real quick.
Okay.
If we can, if we have time. No,
we have time. Go ahead.
Okay.
Love this.
And then, so that's number one. If you're on here on Instagram, feel free to follow us and check us out. And then if you're interested in any virtual events that we're doing, go to virtualeventsecrets.today. virtualeventsecrets.today. And we've got YouTube videos, blogs, all kinds of stuff. And we're always putting out more there. But I agree with Amani. She said, you look great, Katie. She's giving you compliments. We got
She's my sister. What is she going to do? That's my sister.
Oh, there you go. Well, I want to see if we're not going to interrupt.
Okay, so now we're getting some behind the scenes. I love this.
We're getting behind the scenes. Billy's in the middle of filming right now. We'll do it another time. Follow us at Elevate Experiences. I don't want to interrupt him while he's in his flow right now, but next time.
All right. Thank you so much, Shawn. I really appreciate it. And I thank everyone who joined today. I really appreciate it. We'll be doing this on Thursdays at noon up until we're actually freed from this whole pandemic situation, but wanting to provide some really great content. And but thank you so much again. Bye, guys.